Maybe we should investigate this computer before we investigate this window.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The speaker comes to life.
Good morning, Fortress Accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Let's try this again. I think I may have the right password for the personal log.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today?
Are you a machine or are you... Of course she's alive. Thank you.
Goodbye, Fortress Accident.
The machine's keyboard, the printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Read it.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
You think this log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
Read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving. What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
Wait, narcotics?
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kids. Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned and cold, and in an awful part of town.
Read the third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simon for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. Artists, yet again, harassing citizens, stealing badges, occupying public spaces with installations, like the one here. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked. I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
A data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi. Who are these people?
Her friends? Colleagues? She must be quite educated if she knew how to set up all this machinery.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
The lieutenant looks to his right towards the silence.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
What could it be? Look at the water basins behind you.
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
She must be describing a cell.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles, crackers, ping-ping energy drinks, water, toothpaste, gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
I can assure you I'm an expert circuit bender. I'm not breaking into your computer. I'm using it to access coalition military data links.
There are no coalition military data links. And even if there was, you couldn't access them over a civilian network.
Yes, I could. I'm a cybernetic god. I'm using the network to commandeer coalition warship Archer. I will turn its cannons against its masters.
That's nonsense. You're just a police officer. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
Okay, well, let's inspect this shit, I guess.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad. A dark and radiant majesty. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Kneel.
Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts, diffuse light falling on your hands from beyond the glass.
Close your eyes.
The world is silent, but for the creaks and cracks of the massive wooden structure behind you, it covers you from the wind outside. In the darkness, you sense her eyes on you. inspecting you with their multicolored glass, as if you're a bug under a microscope.
Open your eyes.
The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye of what? Compassion? Remorse?
It's morning?
As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Do the same.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
Oof, these are gonna... Who is this, Kim?
It's Dolores Day. The old woman was right. This is the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the Small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of this place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Ravachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
A pang of guilt. The lieutenant is leaving something out.
Do you know why it was abandoned, Kim?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Who conducted the raid?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
I see. You're not sure?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I guess I could have been here.
I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted, or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
If I was here, I should find out what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now.
Okay, we'll go ahead and try these checks. Encyclopedia Medium. How did I know this is the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supreme Windy, altogether 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning.
Her crowning?
In a city called Advesperaskit, in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress, on an emptied-out plaza, with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by Secret Servicemen. One of the men in this Secret Service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
What?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
No, there was something bad about her. I want to know.
You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her Theriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
What happened?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacific, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
Glowing lungs? That's fucked up.
Yes, glowing lungs are quite unusual. After that one time, they have not been reported to glow. You know, this church, the coast, we shouldn't linger. Finish what you came here to do and let's move on.
Visual
This isn't a good place to get lost in.
visual calculus challenging. Reconstruct the glass. No way.
The shards glimmer in the dark.
Yeah, we're gonna
You see
need
little
more than
pearls
that.
of light on the edges of the crack that splits the female figure. Something was written there. Remains of broken letters line the emulsion. What it said, you do not know.
Okay, actually, we're gonna talk to her, but before we do that, since it's 10 a.m., let's go ahead and go back to my car and call the police station.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
This is Precinct 57. How may... Hold on. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
I'm looking for any information you can provide on Billy Mejean, a reader.
Billy Mejean, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for a paperback.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Mejean's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
Home address is fine.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Ah. Do you have any other information on Billy Mejean?
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day.
Do you know someone who was?
Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Mejean? They returned a Tybalt book the other day. Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet.
Do you know the husband's name?
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight.
Can Marie describe me what the husband looked like?
Marie? She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him.
What was he wearing?
1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that.
So Billy Mejean is a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know that it was her husband?
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her.
And then goes for a little drink later. On the lookout.
All right, thanks. That's all I need.
Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? 50.
In the cabin, you see.
Okay, so... yeah, we're gonna go to Billy Mejean's apartment.
A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup allons, yo. The lieutenant motions to you to go ahead and knock. This is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard. Get yourself together. It's just police work.
Don't knock! Just leave! You don't need this! You don't need to sad it up!
What should we expect here, Kim?
You're right. Let's talk this through.
You hear some light footsteps and what appears to be a daily weather forecast playing on the radio.
We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Mejean. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary.
All right, let's go.
The lieutenant motions,
Hello? Who is it?
and someone turns down the radio.
Is this Billy Mejean's home? This is the police. Please open the
The
door.
police. A moment, please give us a moment.
Tidying up, nervously. There's fear in.
Come in. The door is open.
Don't run, okay? Take it slow when exploring the apartment. Be respectful. Packages of humanitarian aid macaroni. Windows covered in old newspaper clipping. A chalk-drawn height chart for children's growth over the years. A textbook for high school mathematics, trigonometry mostly. The clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness. Its ticking makes you anxious, rings hollow in the room. Posters of contemporary pop stars adorn the walls.
It's you from the bookstand. Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Tea? Lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. He must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
I'm not really here for tea.
Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what.
She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from your face.
No, this is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it?
Definitely no small talk. This isn't the time or place. It's like ripping off a bandage. The least painful way is to do it straight away, without stalling.
Empathy impossible. Tell her about the dead body.
You've done this before. Just keep your focus.
Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Majan, was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What did you say?
A great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins.
Your husband, Victor Majan, is dead. I'm sorry for your loss, ma'am.
Oh.
She touches her neck, eyes pale like pearls in seawater.
Oh. But he was just...
She looks at the kitchen table, where 2 cigarette butts are still on the tray.
But he was just here. Alive.
We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am.
What happened to him?
She turns to you. Her neck and cheeks are covered with red blotches. Her double chin is shaking. It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head.
Was he drunk?
Yes.
I see. And you just found him there, lying in the cold. How long had he been there?
If you say 2 days maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever.
It couldn't have been long.
She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hand starts searching for something from the pockets of her dress.
Here.
The lieutenant takes out his handkerchief and offers it to the woman. She nods and slowly wipes away her tears. Is there anyone we can call for you, a friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you?
No. I just need to tell my girls.
The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly.
It burns like acid.
God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home?
No. A day.
No, take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow.
Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him?
We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier. Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you?
No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still...
She rubs her face, runs her fingers over cheeks that have become numb.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if...
These are her last reserves of strength. Her muscles will give in soon. Already, she starts to shake.
I'm very sorry, ma'am.
We should step outside and talk.
Leave.
You did well.
The lieutenant says as soon as you left the apartment, the balcony feels cool and quiet with a stunning view over the district. We could have done more.
You did enough. Can save the whole world, you know.
What now?
I'll call the station when we're finished with the day and let them know the name of the deceased.
That's it?
That's it.
What
We
about
should
Billy?
get back to our case now that our duty here is done.
What about Billy and her kids?
They'll manage.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
Case closed.
Let's go.
Wow. Okay. Okay, I guess we're going to the church. I can't fast travel from here.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing. Yeah.
Why must we...
Yep, that's for you to play this game and have high intelligence so you can actually do these checks, which is cool. I've seen a much different side of this game this playthrough, and it's pretty awesome. A message has been carved into the wall. Trans Nation, Ike Nation. The fast travel system is a little bit unclear. Alright, let's talk to this crazy programmer lady.
Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember?
What?
You have the Headless Fallen Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back.
Yes, this is a task of mine now.
So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for. The mother of humanism stands above you. A precious and complex wax. Why?
She's a stained glass window. How am I supposed to give this to her?
That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else?
Like what?
I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind has gone on to other things already. Only a strange little sadness remains. The mother of humanism towers. Why? That does seem the mother of humanism.
What the fuck?
What is it?
The woman is still hunched over the keyboard, gently illuminated by the purring machine. I didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
Sorry, but who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident
Sounds
and
like
RSA
Finn.
radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you.
That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
Have you seen the Crab Man?
Nope.
You know he's here?
Yes.
It sounds like you're not worried.
No. You're right. I'm not.
Why are there so many machines here?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR-1 as my RAIN Prefect's processing unit.
Huh?
RAIN Prefect. My radio computer.
And the antenna is its processing unit?
Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
Nah, I'm a master circuit bender. I know everything.
Then you'll certainly know that all radio computers perform operations on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
And the AR-1's a good one?
I guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieus dedicated to that sort of thing.
She liked telling you this. It calmed her nerves.
What are you doing with your radio computer?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
On what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to concentrate on whatever she needs to do. And you're not helping.
What are those bowls of water over there for?
They are connected to my RAIN Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay?
All right,
Thanks.
next question.
Great.
Why are you in an abandoned church?
You really like those questions, don't you?
They're bloodshot. She really hasn't been getting much sleep lately, has she?
I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the
What
location
research?
of a 2mm hole in the world.
She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
A hole in the world, what does that mean?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
She's suddenly absorbed in the conversation, awaiting your answer.
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
I can't even understand how we're talking about something that doesn't exist, let alone how we're supposed to measure it.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist, which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence, to find out where it begins. But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
She grows silent, staring at the circle of the basins. It looks like some kind of ancient ritual.
But does it have anything to do with necroplasmic life forms? Ghosts, in everyday parlance.
Does it have anything to do with ghosts?
Ghosts? No, I don't think so. I don't believe in ghosts.
What about other supernatural entities?
I don't believe in them either.
What not many know is that necroplasma exists.
Great. What are we talking about? And why?
Where's this hole at?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
She looks up, eyes trying to pierce the pitch black heights above, but without much success.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade. Strange things may flourish in the dark.
Why there?
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
That's where the Crabman lives.
I know.
You don't think the Crabman might somehow be responsible?
No.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning, her hands typing hundreds of commands into the machine.
Why isn't your research going well?
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
Fine.
Great. Thanks.
How do you feel about anodic dance music?
What? I hate it.
What are you, 40? It's the future.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Right, but how do you feel about a club for anodic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
What do they want to build?
Take a guess, why don't you?
I'm still convinced they want to make a nightclub for anodic dance music. They said it's their dream.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Fine.
Come on, get in. Sorry.
You go ahead.
I'm
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Godly logic.
Okay, so the Speed Freaks want to start a club for dance music. That much checks out. Youths like music. You feel as though you might have liked music more when you were young, too. But you digress.
What's the gist of it?
The gist of it is, they want to turn the church into a club, but a suspicious element has overtaken the building. It's very important to understand what the gist of things is. Always consult the gist before making up your mind. This is going well. Plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out. It still feels as if this didn't quite go as it should have. But
About the church, I checked it out.
And? What happened?
I spoke with the Crabman.
Oh, man. Who is he? What did you think?
Well, he gave me an odd lecture on alcoholism before rambling on about the mother's love.
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
There's something sinister going on. I think he's getting high or something.
What do you mean?
Didn't sound like a sober man. He must be getting visions.
No matter. Is he gonna be a problem? Yeah. Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
these guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
Actually, he said he wouldn't mind the nightclub at all.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Don't worry, I don't think he really gives a damn about you or anyone else.
I guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah! Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
I was using the mainframe when Suna, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident, appeared.
A programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
She said you guys haven't been honest with me about your plans.
Come on, man. Who will you trust? The spooky programmer or us? We just want to make the world a better place.
Feel the love! Get down and feel it!
The stuffy tent muffles the last two words. The command fails to impress. Okay, maybe I'm not feeling it.
You'll get there, believe me. When we've got our gear set up, things will be flowing and pumping. Anyway, now that it's settled, how did she seem? I mean, disposition-wise, about the dance club idea. Yeah, owed her 9. Rocking it or dropping it?
She doesn't like it.
What a pity! That's my favourite thing in the world! And she doesn't like it at all!
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Unity! Dance!
She made it very clear that she won't leave until her own project is finished.
And you can't just evict her?
No. I could go for another try, bring down the hammer of the law.
Hell yeah!
He picks up a small hammer and holds it out ritualistically.
No, Noid. No hammer. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can, like, make a deal not to bother her. You know, coexist. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist! Coexist! At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like Nordic dance music?
She No, she hates it.
Egghead cannot believe what she just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
We'll see how it goes.
Excellent! Good luck, my friend. Goodbye, officer. Hi again. So,
Nothing jumps out to you.
The odds of me
Hi again.
passing this check are very low.
Nothing
I'm not
jumps
gonna
out
waste
to
too
you.
much time on this. I'll try it a few times, and then fuck it.
Hi again. So,
Nothing jumps out to you.
At least this game loads quickly.
Hi again. So,
Nothing jumps
Pretty
out
much
to you.
doesn't matter what I do. I don't think I'll ever...
Hi again. So,
Nothing jumps out to you.
I have to roll a 6 and a 5 or or a double 6. There's no other
Hi
way.
again. So,
Nothing jumps.
Okay, one more try and then I'm fucking...
Hi again. So,
Nothing jumps out to you.
Alright.
The mother of humanism stands above you.
Yes, what is it?
What if you didn't have to leave? I talked to Andre. He wants to make it work.
I don't want to make anything work.
Hold on, you don't want to make anything work?
Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
Okay.
Good.
Suggestion medium. Convince her to cooperate.
Hey, what?
Fuck you. It's a 97% chance and I failed it. Fuck you.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make... Yes, good.
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
Listen, about your research. You mentioned earlier it's not going very well. Maybe I can help you.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
But if I could help you finish the project, then you wouldn't have to live in a church next to the Boom Boom anymore.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair.
All right. Bring me the game's offside copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself.
Is this the filament you're looking for?
No. That's the production schedule. I don't need it. The right filament memory has offside copy written on silver tape.
She doesn't care how you got your hands on that thing.
Okay.
On Rue de Saint-Ghislain, in the East Delta Commerce Center. You might be more familiar with the name Doomed Commercial Area. You could get in through the bookshop on the plaza. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady.
Alright, where's the copy?
There's this giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. It's there. Don't worry, you can't miss the bear. It's hideous.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
I found a note on the Ice Bear fridge saying the offsite copy has been moved somewhere safer.
Wait, a note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory?
It said the offsite copy has been taken to a nearby ice cream maker. The note was signed by someone named Solislav.
Jawiza. Of course! Our project lead, Suliswov Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous. And the heads... I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
I found the ice cream maker, but I couldn't get it open. It's completely frozen.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out.
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
By the way, we put a dead body in the fridge.
Wait, what? Whose dead body?
You know, we don't actually have to tell the entire world about the fridge.
Whose body is it?
The body of the hanged man.
And what is it doing in the fridge?
It's almost as if she feels some sort of ownership of the fridge.
Don't worry, it's just there temporarily. It's part of an official police investigation.
You put it there? You put a dead body inside the ice bear fridge.
The investigation warranted it.
Okay. Very cool. Thanks for keeping me in the loop.
We would appreciate it if you kept this knowledge to yourself, miss.
Who would I tell? My mother? I don't have anyone to tell. And if I did, I wouldn't. I don't care.
Why can't you go get the filament yourself?
The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse.
Are you part of
Whatever
the
that
curse?
means. Of course not. Anyway, I don't have my keys anymore and she won't let me in.
Why does she think you're part of the curse?
Because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil.
What if it does emit elemental evil?
It doesn't emit, it receives. You sound just like her. She started praying when she first saw my rain. Turned to higher powers.
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic. So what I need you to do here is go have a talk with her, say that you're a policeman and need to get to the building's basement. Then bring me the offsite copy, alright?
What is an offsite copy and why do you need it?
It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She points to the glowing cube inside the machine.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left. This is getting...
There's a solution, but she...
Alright.
Thanks. And here's my Kvalsund move tool.
Oh.
You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offsite copy, then you can keep the Kvalsund.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be parting with the Kvalsund.
Alright, let's go open the ice maker.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner.
It's even
and
hard with
an
this
electric
thing.
freezer. Ice groans and howls under the strain of your giant Gewalzund multi-tool. Until the lid cracks open, darkness lies inside. But you can faintly make out an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep, a filament memory with the words, off-site copy, written on it. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker.
What? No ice cream?
A scoop of ice cream would have been nice, yes.
You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lucan and killed as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs.
Sure, we'll snoop.
A dusty... What he means is that these things... This is the Ream Civic radio. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the key. Nothing happens. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filaments you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Insert the offsite copy.
Like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Play.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good morning. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the offset copy? Good.
Life
Please
after
repeat.
death.
No, that's not it.
Shit.
What does she mean? That's not it. What's the password then?
Can you give me a hint?
No.
Fuck.
Received.
Don't worry. Passwords have...
Fortress accident. Is there anything else? Good.
It's a police.
I am contractually...
I'm afraid we...
Now,
Damn it.
Fortress, thank
Tiles on the cube are still...
Interesting. Huh.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The filament slides out of its like a smooth drawer. The filaments, the speaker comes to life. Static seep.
Good morning. Please repeat. Good.
Really? She just used the same password?
Fortress accident. Is there anything? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube with a quiet determination. The printer starts printing. A piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers its surface.
Read it.
It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Wurral Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule.
Read about the workforce. Who worked here? How long?
Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. But on the other hand, their obligations were piling up at an inhumane rate, a rate that could only be amended by Pyrrolidon.
Read about capital. I want to know about money.
In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Ria, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Real, with only half of the game finished. 400,000 Real? You're my yo. These guys knew how to party.
Jeez, where'd they get all that money?
Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor.
Skim through the production schedule, whatever it is.
The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy.
Right, so what happened?
It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team. They tried to make a 4 million real game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't.
I could have.
No, you couldn't have.
All right.
Definitely not. Not a chance.
Fuck you.
Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads.
That sounds bad.
No, it was good. Too good. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa, decided that what Wurral Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor.
How many heads were there?
So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined.
How many combinations could you make out of that?
Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while.
Yes. My God. Uh-oh.
The lieutenant taps his foot impatiently, his arms folded tight against his chest. He's dying for a cigarette. Come to think of it, you are too.
What have I done?
What if you broke the radio computer? What if it's never going to stop?
Just let it wash over you.
Well, yeah, that, and the catastrophic data loss.
This must be the anomaly Suna mentioned.
On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end, where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness, before the Igaunian investors pulled the plug. What is clear is that one day, an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian lintel front, just as the Wurral Untethered project was being compiled that day.
And the anomaly caused the data to get lost?
When the project was returned, it was completely blank. The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss.
There was a copy of the... Wasn't there a copy of the game, a backup?
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached.
What does it say?
S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal.
It's not very convincing, is it?
Her former colleagues would agree with you.
Is there anything else from this lead programmer?
The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later.
Read it.
4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it. Still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said.
Tear off the printout and throw it away?
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the frame. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
I was hoping I'd get the password from there.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So, there must be an elaborate piece of art?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Looks like a surveillance program. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
If it's a game, who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station. It looks like a list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Il Mara. All of this is gone, left unrealized.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
The cost of airwidth must have been huge.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, tune out, Wurral untethered, and Heat Death of the Universe. The full text reads, Heat Death of the Universe is the new black. Another note says, the biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise.
Inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin. And even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine him, this is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Tuorg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
One of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Well, this has been educational.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone.
Inspect the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat-death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wurral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. So much pain. Back pain, neck pain, headaches, carpal tunnel, chest pain. No gym membership can make up for working in this manner.
What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
I was hoping we would find her password so we could read her shit, but it's not here. I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. Peace.